Yep.
Okay, class, so today we're going to start off by talking about media literacy. So the first thing I want to do is ask, does anybody have any idea what media literacy is? Any ideas at all? So, what about media? What do you think of when you hear the term media? Megan?
TV.
Alright, so TV. Let's write some of these on the board here. Anybody else?
Movies.
Movies. Okay. Newspaper articles. Okay. Anything else?
Radio.
What was that? Radio and magazines. Okay. Anything else? How about, say, internet? Okay. Music. Okay. So now we've got a good understanding of what media is. There's other media that we can look at too, but this is a good basic concept. So there, we got half of the definition for media. Now, what do you think of when you hear the term literacy? Any idea? Maybe think into English class or anything? Understanding. Okay. So. Okay. Understanding. Anything else? Reading. Okay. Analyzing. Okay. So if we use just those three right there, and the terms that we have for media, does anybody think they can give me a definition for media literacy combined? I want you to kind of focus right here on this word especially. Analyzing a movie, okay. So if you go a little broader than just the movie.
Analyzing the plot line.
Maybe a little broader than the plot line too. Think of all these as a whole.
Different mediums.
Okay, so analyzing the different mediums. Alright, so that's pretty close to what I have. So I will write the definition I have and let's see what you think of this. So excuse the handwriting, it's pretty sloppy, but ability to access, critically evaluate, and produce communication in a variety of forms. So does that sound like what we were talking about a little bit? So the one difference that I want you to make sure and look at is it's also producing communication and critically evaluate. So these two concepts are very important to media literacy.
So like what the character's saying in the movie?
It could be as easy as what they're saying, or maybe it's a deeper concept that they are kind of saying, but not right to you. Like it's a kind of a hidden thing. What's that?
Read between the lines.
Read between the lines, yes. All right. So now let's see here. Now what I want you to do is take out a piece of paper, if you would. Now I want you to write down your top 10 favorite TV shows. And if you don't have 10, or if that seems like a lot, maybe 5 or 3 or 4. But try to shoot for 5 to 10.
Like currently.
No, any TV show that you watch in your 10th grades. And well, we're going to use those to create our top 10 favorite on the board. So you're going to really choose 2 of your favorites of the top 5. So does everybody have a few? 2, 3? Okay, so what we're going to do is I want you to choose 2 of your favorites, and we're going to make a list of our top 10 favorites. So when we only have 4, so I'm going to add 2 of my favorites to the board. sexuality themes portrayed in the shows? Any ideas here? Number 4, I see, okay. So can you elaborate on maybe what they were, or what kind of themes are displayed in the sexuality?
A lot of it is sort of violating people's sexuality.
Okay,
Grey's Anatomy.
okay. What kind of, is it blatant or maybe
Yeah.
relationships? Or maybe a little bit of both
Well,
of those?
yeah, it's both.
Okay.
Anything with friends.
Same thing with Friends, okay. Both of them? Okay. So I would say for mine, both of them would be both cases of sexuality in both the TV shows, some a little more than the others. So now I want you to think, what kind of influences do these shows and the sexuality in them have on you? Any ideas on that? Does it increase your ideas of maybe sexuality is, or sex is more of a norm, or something that everybody's doing or not everybody's doing? Any idea?
I mean, I guess it's more of like what's considered the social norm, maybe, for like certain shows if they portray certain relationships and how what a healthy relationship is. It's kind of that kind of like draws the audience to what the typical relationship should be.
So, kind of shaping your idea of what the typical relationship is. So if we look at Grey's Anatomy, has anybody not ever seen Grey's Anatomy? So there's a lot of relationships going on in the hospital, basically. Okay. So not all are healthy, some are healthy, but it might shape the viewer's ideas of what a healthy relationship is. So maybe a lot of breakups, some cheating, things of that nature. So I just want you to keep aware of the idea that these shows are all made to create a message to you. All right. So there's always a message surrounding the sexuality in these shows. Okay. So just keep in mind that. So what do you think the influence might be on younger kids? So I want you to think, if you have a younger sibling, or if you don't, just hypothetically you have a younger sibling, what do you think they would think watching these shows and the sexuality themes with them? Would you?
Maybe that they should start doing stuff they see.
Okay, so the norm, making the sex the norm again? Okay. Would you approve of a younger sibling watching these shows? Maybe some, maybe not others. So say your sibling's 7 or 8, and he or she is watching Mad Men. I don't know if you've all seen Mad Men, or Grey's Anatomy again. So so we're gonna look at these shows and kind of think about. I just want you to think about what are the influences on other people rather than just you as well. So now, quick question: do you ever see abstinence portrayed in any of these shows? You think any TV shows really show abstinence as the way to go, or the norm among individuals? No? So, we're looking at media and we're just analyzing it to see the themes that are in it and the influences, alright? So, what we're going to do now is quickly move to a scavenger hunt of sorts, alright? So, I'm going to hand out these handouts. On the back, you either have a star or a check. And on the walls are papers. And underneath the paper is an ad. So when you get to the ad, I want you to just take the paper off carefully so you don't rip the ad behind it off. And you're going to fill out these sheets. I want you to spend a few minutes looking at each one, or as many as you can get to. And then fill out the sheet by yourself, and then we're going to come back together, all right, in your groups. So you can stand up, go to any you want, try to hit all of them, or as many as possible, okay?
So do we fill it out for one or?
For like your favorite, you can fill out just like that one as
So
one.
we look at the
Or
worst and then.
try to look at all of them and then try to fill it out. Okay. And I want you to be looking for the themes like we were just talking about, what they're trying to sell you, and then I'll come around and kind of help you out, all right? So you can stand up, go to any ad you'd like. Yep. Okay, so if you're on an ad right now, kind of finish up what you're looking at and writing down, and then return to your seat. Try to sit with the people that have the same mark as on the back of your paper. So you have either a star or a check mark. So that's going to be your small group. And if you haven't finished really filling out the paper, maybe choose one of the ads that you looked at and kind of quickly sum up the rest of the paper with that. Do we have an even groups here? So if you're done filling out the papers, so I kind of want you to talk in between you and your partner, just kind of address the questions on your sheet, what maybe your favorite ad was, or themes that you saw, who they were targeted towards, or what kind of tactics they used. Well, you can just choose a few to discuss between the first number you make. Okay, so if you want to kind of finish up your thought there. So does anybody have a favorite ad? Or any that they really didn't like? Ed Hardy didn't like it? Okay.
It's good to be popular.
Okay, why? Why didn't they like that?
Well, I mean,
Too much sexuality? Okay. Okay. So what do you think the theme is there? It's good to be bad. Is that directed at her or him?
I think the girl.
Is Ed Hardy like a male or female product? I don't know. Both. Okay. Okay, so it's a little too much, you guys think? What about the girl over there who's basically not wearing anything? And that same thing? Is that directed toward a male or female?
It seemed like the product was trying to be weird.
Okay, so why do you think they used a woman who's naked? Do you know who that is? I believe it's the actress, right, from Black Swan.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so maybe that's why directed toward females. It's a star power. Okay. Any other ads catch your eye?
Isn't that the powder girl?
Yes, that is.
I looked at that one first, yeah.
So let's look at this one. What do you think about this one?
I like it.
Okay. Any reasons why?
It seemed like they were like a cute couple.
So
And it wasn't like too sexual.
yeah, so it's kind of got the romance relationship thing. What do you think about the second picture? Does it look like he's running away or he's searching for her again? It's kind of interesting to me because he looks almost like he's running away and then she looks disappointed. So it could be displaying healthy relationship in the top and then kind of an unhealthy relationship. So I thought that was kind of interesting, just something to look at. Any other themes that you guys saw? Is any of these promoting sex or promoting abstinence?
That
Relationships?
The man one is really using sexuality.
That one is pretty
I just
out
thought
there
it was
too.
really interesting.
Okay. This one up here is pretty physical too. Okay. So if you could choose any, do you think any of these that you would change maybe to kind of slow down the sex in them or make them more appropriate for your age or younger? If say, go back to that hypothetical sibling again, if they're reading through these magazines, because all these magazines are something that you can buy right on the shelf at a supermarket. So is there anything you change in these?
For DK and Y one, at least move his hand up
Yeah,
off
okay.
of her butt and possibly not be kissing her.
Okay.
Just like, I guess hugging or looking into each other's eyes.
Alright, so more of the relationship thing rather than the sexual. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually practice something like this now. For basically, we're going to give you almost the remainder of the class. So you might not be able to finish today, but we'll finish it tomorrow. So I want you to take out another piece of paper, if it's not a problem, and choose one of these ads or one of the TV shows that we wrote on the board. And you're going to write a letter to the director or the person who makes these ads saying that how you either like them or you're disappointed in them in the way that the commercial or the ad or the TV show is portraying a sexual theme, all right? And then give at least one example how you would change the advertisement or how the advertisement influenced you, okay? Anybody have a question on that? Okay, so just you can work, kind of throw some ideas with your partner, and then I want each individual person to write a letter, all right? So you're going to address who it's to, if you liked or disliked the ad or TV show, and then basically why. How it influenced you or negatively influenced you.
Like a TV show.
Either. You can use
Either one.
an ad or a TV show. Yep. And you can throw ideas off me, call me over if you need help. This is just a rough draft too, so don't worry about spelling as much in neat handwriting. We're going to type these up.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I mean, you can just pretend like it fast forwarded if you want.
Is everybody about finished up? So does anybody want to share? You could share the whole thing or just a part, or tell us why you wrote to the person you wrote or who it is. Anything? Reason? You're gonna share the whole thing? Or just,
Can you hear?
I don't care.
Okay. I wrote to Dick Wolf, who is the director of law at SBU. And I said, I would like to express my feelings to you about how I feel about your show Law and Order SBU. Most people might say that it is way too violent and that being attacked sexually is very common. I mean, let's think about it. You've been on the air for 13 years and 24 episodes in each season. It's sadly a lot of bad things happening to women, teens, children, family, and sometimes men. However, despite the violence and emotional trauma portrayed in your show, I applaud your character choice of Olivia and Elliot. They definitely overpower negativity in most cases. They promote getting help, facing the hurt, and being a stronger person. They portray women facing the demons the men gave them and helping them regain their freedom through arrest and trial.
Very good. Okay. So you chose abuse as one of your themes in there that you didn't care for, but character development. Okay. Anybody else? You don't have to. Okay.
I mean, I don't want to share the whole
Okay.
thing, but mine was to the producer's friends.
Okay.
Just talking about like how they influence people's perspectives on relationships and how tough they can be, how happy people can be when they're in relationships, and how sad it is and how hard it is to like after breakups and getting back together. And it's just like for me, like I think it has a positive influence on people in general, just because they went through like all the social norms, and they also gave like a bunch of different perspectives. So that was basically what I meant.
All right. So how did it feel advocating for something like this? So maybe you wrote in favor or not in favor. So any feelings toward that? Did you enjoy writing like this? Advocating for something? You? Okay. And so I want you to think about one important thing that you learned from the class today. It could be simple like the definition, or something more from the ads. Anybody want to share?
A lot of people use sex to sell things.
Okay. And it's also geared toward both sexes. Okay.
There are certain things that people use in order to catch people's eyes, catch people's attention. Like for example, like for a lot of like the cologne ads, like it's used at like the advertisements are used as like ways to attract people of the opposite sex.
All right. So does anybody have any idea? Maybe how would you look at media differently now? In any way? anything you've noticed or maybe you looked more into?
I think for me, like looking at all these, a lot of them include a male and a female. So what does that say for all like the gender minorities, for example?
Okay. Another thing, looking around the room, do you see any racial diversity in any of these? Nothing? Okay, so maybe that's something else you look for, the difference in advertising men, women, and gender. Okay.